Hey guys, this video is brought to you by Dev Mountain. Dev Mountain is an in-person coding and design bootcamp that offers housing at no extra cost for immersive students. And they even have career services that can help you with job placement after you graduated. Dev Mountain loves hearing from my subscribers, so be sure to click on the link in the description tab below if you or somebody you know is ready to dive into coding and design. Hey guys, what's up? So in this video, what we're going to be looking at is Ruby versus Django versus Node.js. And for all of you who don't know, those are all three different web frameworks or really back-end server-side stacks that you can choose for your website. Now, the three represent three separate languages. There's going to be Ruby, which is really Ruby on Rails, and that is the Ruby language. Django is the Python programming language. And then Node.js is a runtime that you use JavaScript in order to interact with it. All right, guys, so as we mentioned, Ruby on Rails is a web framework that was created with the Ruby language, and it was created 14 years ago now. So some of the popular websites that are using Rails is Twitter, also Shopify, the e-commerce platform. Django is a web framework that was created with the Python programming language, and it was also created over 14 years ago, or actually 14 years ago now. And some of the popular websites that are using Django are Instagram and Pinterest. All right, and Node.js was actually a runtime that you use JavaScript in order to interact with it, but it's a server-side stack just like Ruby on Rails or Django. And it was created 10 years ago now. So all three of these are nearly similar in age. I suppose you could say Node.js is the new kid on the block, but they all have a pretty good length of time now behind each one of them. And all three are actually used. Node.js has a tremendous amount of websites using it as well, some of the largest websites out there. And all three are very good options, I think. So it really boils down to when you're looking at which one should I use. I always look at like what language am I most familiar with. I know Python much better than Ruby, so I always go with Django or Flask over something like Ruby on Rails. But if I jumped into Ruby early on in my career, or if I was doing that for work and I just happen to know it better, then Ruby on Rails is obviously going to be a much better option for you. Now, in either case, if you're going to use either Ruby or Django, you're going to have to write JavaScript that runs inside the browser. So that means you have to know another language, which is JavaScript. And that is one of the benefits of Node.js, is that the backend is written in JavaScript, or really the scripting language for it is JavaScript. And that means that that's really all you need to know is JavaScript. Now, there is a slight difference between the JavaScript that runs with Node.js and the JavaScript in the browser, but it's nearly identical. So while all three of these options are good options, like which one is best, I think, is somewhat subjective, but let's go ahead and just look at a few different things. One of them is Google Trends. And I think that this pretty accurately reflects the popularity of each web framework. Now, maybe there's an argument that Django and Node shouldn't be so far ahead of Ruby, especially Django. But I think this explosion here definitely makes sense. Ruby on Rails was released around, so it was around 2005. So you can see there's obviously going to be some like skewed results here. So when it was released, there was a huge demand. It was just a huge boost in popularity for web programming. And it really sort of changed everything in the way that we were writing our code. If you were a C# Microsoft programmer, for instance, you were writing something called WinForms. And WinForms is a complete piece of shit. Like, everybody hated it. But it was built really for all the old school C# programmers that were moving into the web atmosphere. But it was a real big nightmare to work on. And I personally hated working on web forms. But what Ruby on Rails did, as well as Django, because Django was, like I said, released around the same time, but it was kind of in... it was to really keep up with Ruby and what they were doing with the Rails project. But Rails had a huge boost of popularity coming out of the gate. It used Model View Controller as its architecture pattern. And that really brought about MVC throughout everything. So we started seeing Java's ecosystem start to use MVC. And then Python obviously was using MVC or like a flavor of that with with Django. C# and the Microsoft community went from WinForms, and then they moved over to ASP.NET. They called it ASP.NET MVC or MVC.NET for a while. But all of that stuff was basically brought about by Ruby on Rails, I think, and just huge boost of popularity. It was an open source project, and that means that the community writes all the code, and no particular company owns either one of these three technologies. So clearly, if you're looking at this, you're probably like, well, Ruby is obviously really popular, but then it's going down in this downward trend. And that is probably somewhat accurate because there's way more Ruby on Rails websites than there are Django. And there's probably way more Node.js websites at this point than either one of Ruby or Django. But how do we know that? Well, you can look at web hosting statistics like built with, and I think there's a few other ones that aren't coming to my mind. But just Google it. You can Google, which are the most popular backend stacks and everything. So Ruby should have way more websites than Django. So what do we look at when we look at how popular something is in the community? We can look at Stack Overflow, which is like the #1 question and answer website for programming. And if we look at something like Django, you can see that there are 228,000, nearly 229,000 questions that have been asked about the Django web framework. Now, if I wanted to look at some stats here of basically what I did is I looked back 3 years and I looked at, okay, if there's 228,000 questions now, how many questions were there with Django 3 years ago, since clearly both of these frameworks, and really all three of them, were alive and thriving 3 years ago. So if I look at the Wayback Machine, I can see that Django had 142,118 questions as of 3 years ago. So if we do the math on that, that's going to be like roughly 62% or 60%, somewhere around that is where that is going to land. And that means Django has increased about 60% just on the Stack Overflow questions in the last 3 years. I think that's pretty healthy for a technology. However, if we look at Rails, we can see Ruby on Rails has 391,000 questions. And where that was 3 years ago was 272,582 questions. And the math on that's going to be roughly 70%. So that means that Ruby on Rails has had a larger question growth on Stack Overflow as far as a community perspective. And then if we look at Node.js, there's going to be 324,756 questions. And if we go back 3 years ago on that, there was 170,750 questions. So that's nearly 100% boost. So that would clearly show that Node.js is outperforming both Django and Rails, not just on Google Trends, but also on Stack Overflow. And that's, I think, pretty representative of like the activity going on in the programming environment. And I think this coincides also with the current job market. So if we look at Indeed.com, which is the #1 jobs website, at least in the United States, we look at Django jobs, there's 1,621 available right now. If we look at Ruby on Rails, there's 1,943. And then if we look at Node.js, there's 2,749. Now, if you play with any one of those queries on those numbers and the names, I mean, I think you could probably get different results. Like clearly with Node.js, there's like different web frameworks like Express and stuff like that. So, are you really comparing apples to apples? I think for the most part we are, and the data that we looked at here, I think it pretty much shows that if you want the most popular web framework, then Node.js is going to be it. That's going to be your server-side stack. We didn't look at C# or Java. We know that those really compete in the corporate world, but I think the results would be similar in that Node.js would also exceed the growth in both of those areas as well. But we don't really know. I guess that could be another video. But if you're looking for a personal preference and you already have like a personal preference, like I said, towards a coding language, I would say go with that, because all three of these are showing that they are growing and that they seem to be a pretty healthy technology, especially when, when we look at the jobs and like all these different stats, I think it's I think all three are a pretty good option, but you guys pick. All right, if you guys are looking to code, make sure you guys check out my website, codehawk.com. That's where you're going to get a lot of content for all of my teaching, my tutorials and everything. There's going to be a lot more content that is added. This is a relatively new website, but for right now, there is still like 25 hours of content or something there. So if you guys are looking to code, just check that out and you guys can learn with me.